Everyone, thanks for joining me on my small engine repair channel. Today's project is on this Troy-bilt Storm 5024, and the problem the owner is having with it is he can't get it started. So let's take a look at it and see if we can't fix it up for him. All right, guys. So yeah, the owner said that he doesn't hear anything coming from the electric start. He's an older gentleman, doesn't really want to pull it over. He wants to be able to use this electric start. So I'm thinking we're going to have an issue probably with the electric start. But before we even try and troubleshoot it, test it, always check the oil. He does want an oil change done on it, and there is some oil for testing. He said he put fresh fuel in it, so. And it smells pretty fresh. Okay, so let's just do a quick once over. Tires are inflated. Transmission might need to be adjusted. Cables seem okay. Chute control seems fine. Let's see, the impellers here, nothing seems to be bent. The auger, the impellers back there, the auger blades are all good. All of the pins are in, they're proper shear pins as well. So I don't see why we can't give this thing a test. So let's do that next. Electric start is plugged in. The choke is on, the key is in, a couple shots of primer, and oh, by the way, he did say that he thinks the primer is not working because he can't hear the fluid, and the throttle is up. So let's see what we get for electric start. Okay, we got a little bit of a, and that was it. So, an old trick from the day for our cars. The starter wasn't working, you give it a little bit of a tap as you're trying to start it. Alright, so it doesn't sound good. So we're not going to go any further with the electric start on this thing. Let's see if the pull start's going to work. Alright, so the pull start actually worked first pull, but as soon as I pulled it off a choke, it wanted to die. So that's a surefire sign that the carb is all clogged up. So I think what we're looking at here is I'm going to take this starter motor off, take it up to the bench, see if I can't see what's going on with it. It might need to be rebuilt or just replaced. So that's where we're going to start with this thing because he does want the electric start working. All right, to get this starter off, I'm going to start with the two Phillips screws here. I'll just take off the plug part, and then there are two 8mm bolts holding the starter on, one here and one on the bottom. Let's start with the bottom one first. There's one. Okay, this one does not want to come off. All right. Okay, so here's a starter. Here's the gears. I want to check all these gears, all the teeth on the flywheel. Make sure there aren't any broken ones. I don't see any broken ones on there, so that's good. There is a wire hanging off here, I believe. I believe this is for a light kit, potentially. It was just kind of stuffed up in here. So, anyways, I'm going to take this over to the bench. We'll start taking this apart and we'll see if we can figure out why this thing is not working. Alright guys, so it's up on the bench here now. First thing I like to do is usually check the teeth in this guy. Again, just like the other side on the flywheel, these gears tend to, if they don't mesh up properly or they wear down, then you'll see broken teeth, missing teeth. I don't see that being the case. It also doesn't seem like it's stuck. So sometimes this, when you apply power to this thing, it's supposed to spin up, and just by centrifugal or centripetal force, one of the two, it actually spins this gear and it goes up that shaft there. Okay, and then it meshes with the gear on the snowblower, and then once the snowblower starts and it gets up to speed, then and you let go of the button, then this will drop back down. So none of that seems to be out of the ordinary. So unfortunately, I'm thinking it's probably something like inside the windings or whatever of the motor here, which is probably not going to be able to be rebuilt. So I'm going to test it while it's up on the bench here, just to see what we got going on, see if it tells us anything. So don't put your hands anywhere in there, obviously. All right, so that it is somewhat working. Something is just not right in there. So it's partially working, which I hate dealing with stuff that's kind of partially working, because then, you know, you never know, are you going to be able to get it fixed or what? Alright guys, so I'm back on this Troy-bilt 24-inch snowblower. It's been a couple days. Had to get a new starter brought in. The customer actually did approve the replacement of this starter. So I got a starter off of everyone's favorite online shopping resource. And just double checking everything. It is pretty much identical. The cord is a little longer on the new one, but and then there's a couple of smaller changes. You can see it's kind of beefed up a little bit more on the attachment points than on the old one, so that's actually not a bad thing. And but everything seems to be pretty much in order as far as their direct replacement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bench test this first. Not that I don't think it's working, but you never know. Before I go ahead and put it on the machine, then I'll go ahead and show you how to put it back on the machine. Alright, so I'm going to plug this one in. Here's the other thing I didn't notice on the old one is the ground lug is actually missing on this guy. I don't know if that caused any issues. I'm not an electrician, but there is a ground here on this guy. And alright, so it looks perfect. Okay, so back onto the machine it goes. Now the only other thing is that the new one doesn't come with any of the hardware, so you got to take out these two Phillips screws And then the two mounting bolts, you're gonna have to keep those as well from your old one. All right, so to mount this back up, it's literally as easy as just lining up. There's actually two guide pins, it looks like, on the starter to mount the starter. Uh-oh. Why? Okay. I was like, oh, that doesn't... I know I checked it, but it didn't look like it was going to line up. This could be a problem. These bolts, I don't know if the bolts are long enough now that the... Oh, there you go. Just didn't quite have it snug on there. So I'm just gonna get these started with my impact, and then I'm gonna snug them down by hand. Ooh. Looks like I'm running out of battery, of course. Actually, I'm not, because I just run these in. $8 mil. Just snug them up. Alright, that's good. We'll mount the actuality, I'm not going to mount this bottom one because I need to get this one off to get access to the carburetor and stuff over there. So I'm just going to leave that one off for now.
Maybe junk again.
I'll just get that one started. Leave that other one loose there. Now we're going to go ahead and try the electric start. Just test it out. All right, now we're ready to test it. I'm just going to take the key out so it doesn't start. Just want to see it turns over. Plug my cord in. Beautiful. All right. So that's how you replace the starter on one of these MTD machines. This one happens to be Troy-bilt branded. Anyways, I'm going to keep going on this thing. I'm going to service it by draining the oil, check and clean out the carburetor. I do have a video on that if you're interested. I'll put a link in the description down below, or and up top here in the corner, I think, right now. I'll check the belts, I'll service the transmission, also have videos on that, potentially adjust the skid shoes, but I'll talk to the client about that, how they like their skid plate, if they like it to ride on the ground or off the ground a little bit, and just do a servicing of this machine. Of course, I'll take a look and service the spark plug. This is probably one of those old torch spark plugs, which I'll probably swap out for a, oh no, someone already did that, so that's good. That's a Champion RC12YC, which is good. So I'll just end up servicing that and get this thing back rolling. If there's anything else that comes up that's interesting on this machine, I'll make sure I add that to the end of this video. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you on the next project. So thanks for watching, and till our next one, take care.